What is going on? Welcome to Ryan and Brian Talk Sports, featuring Nick Larson. Usually it's
Whoa,
plus Nick Larson, but today
I
you're
was
getting
ready for the
featured.
fourth.
We're so close to baseball. We have some basketball. I think this week is like 11 games, 2 games, 46 games, 4 games, 36 games, 3 games. So it's going to be up and down in terms of volume. But as always, we appreciate Sleeper Picks. We appreciate everyone that's here. If you have not liked and subscribed to this channel, to this show, please do so. Ryan and Nick, how are you guys?
Doing good. Our last non-baseball show, so reason to be excited. I'm growing slightly tired of NBA. Now I love NBA. I live for this shit, but I'm ready to bet something else. I got to be honest. So I'm very excited for
Question.
Thursday.
You can just
Were
ask
we
it.
were we able to get Shohei for next week or not?
Yeah, I tell you what, he
No,
messed
not
up. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures that surfaced of him standing next to Mookie Betts in the on
well,
deck
of
Shohei
course.
surface.
bet.
Well, of
Yeah,
course.
you can't do that. You got to make sure you got to find. Actually, if his best bet, no pun intended, would be to have Mookie Betts change his name or something, because that's going to be the easiest way to avoid that joke all season.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough on him for a little while. Luckily,
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't
Ryan,
understand
I'm
English.
not to harp on
But
it too much, but you mentioned getting a little tired of it. I actually took a full since Thursday. I didn't bet on the NBA. I just kind of enjoyed March Madness, and with like other jobs and content and whatnot, I was pretty busy when it comes to March Madness because there's just so much things you gotta keep track of and deadlines and whatnot. So I just didn't bet the NBA at all. And when I was looking at the slate today, it felt like a foreign language. I was like, oh yeah, right, this is like a thing we do. So I'm excited to be back and betting on it, but it does get a little exhausting after the All-Star break, where it got a little bit more, heartbreak after heartbreak at some point. So, we have 11 game slate. Hopefully we can find some winners. How many plays do you have between you two? 5?
I
five.
I don't even know how many plays I have because I'll
Nick
explain
has a
once we get
question
to it.
mark.
Yeah,
He's got a
I'm
Clevin.
questionable.
He's got a Clevin. When you don't know what
Questionable.
the exact number is, we're going with a Clevin. So I
Works
have
for me.
2.5, because I do have one that kind of matters on the injury report, but I might hop on it earlier. So I just want to talk about that one. But so 2.5. I'll talk about 3 different spots. But do you want to start first, Ryan? 'Cause it looks like you have the most amount of plays.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Let's start off. Well, I have one play where you'll benefit from not putting it in earlier, and I have one play that it kind of sucks because it's moved because I put it in earlier. Um, I'm bringing that up for no reason because we're not even going to talk about those plays yet. Let's go Vasilije Micić over 17.5 points plus assist. This man plays for the Charlotte Hornets, if you're not aware. He's actually been a little bit of a wagon on this line. I got to be honest. It's funny. When he first got traded to Charlotte, maybe his third or fourth game in Charlotte, I played Micić props, and he completely dudded that game. So we're going to hope that doesn't happen again. The change in between then and now is the move to the starting lineup. He got moved into the starting lineup 10 games ago, and he's been really consistent. He's averaging 31.2 minutes, 9.9 potential assists, 11.6 field goal attempts, 3.9 threes, and 2.7 free throw attempts, which has resulted in a 20.7 point plus assist average in that time frame. He's over an 8 out of 10, and the misses were on 14 and 15. Granted, it's a pretty low number, but at least he's been right there for the 2 times that he did miss. It kind of feels like we're getting a bit of a discount line due to the Cavaliers defense. And while I'm sure Mobley will, kind of get it back to what it used to be, they're like the 9th worst defensive rating in the league over the past 10 games. So they're just not really scaring me defensively to have this, I'll call it kind of discounted line, accounting for the matchup here. But they're fairly mediocre defense lately. They're like 3-7 in the last 10 games. They really need to start cleaning up. Even if Mobley's back, which I guess he is, they're in a back-to-back, but I've seen no word on Mobley. His lines actually have started to pop up on books, so presumably he's in. He's got an 11-5 line, which leads me to believe he's going to play 20 minutes. That doesn't directly affect Micić per se, but maybe improves the Cavs defense a little bit while he's out there, but not enough to scare me away. This was plus 100 earlier. I think it's probably still floating around that price right now on DraftKings. Yeah, minus 105 on DraftKings. So I really like this line. Micić over 17.5 points plus assists to start our day.
Yeah, I like that should be a good look there. I think you kind of someone also mentioned in the chat about threes. Does that about his threes tonight? I'm not sure if you have any thoughts on that.
I don't hate it. One thing that has kind of encouraged me here is now he did go under last game, and somebody just said, "Oh, it's Allen." Of course, it's Allen saying "nice lid" tonight. It's just disgusting that you would come on our show wearing that. But It is what it is. But now he went under last game, but Micić 3 out of the 4 games prior popped off for 20 plus points, including a decent barrage of threes. So I do like it. I think there's some value there. He's definitely starting to get more and more comfortable with the NBA game and starting to produce. So I like his threes, I like his points, I like his assists, and PA is ultimately my favorite look here.
Yeah, I think we can send it over to Nick and kind of keep the train rolling. I don't know how many plays he actually has, but my guess is more than 2.5. So we'll give it to Nick.
There you go.
Oh, the over hits. So I'll give out a play that actually you can still play now, which I guess is a good thing.
That's very nice to hear.
Yeah.
This whole first quarter market thing, they're up in the morning, like Sabonis, Luka, all those guys, and then for some reason they've been disappearing or they've been taking away the alts and not putting them back. So I'll give out what I can. If you have Bet365, I know it was up there. I do not have it, but I know most of these are up and have better odds. So first one I have is Fred VanVleet, over 2.5 assists and then 4+ assists. They took down 5, which was plus 750, which was really good value. So if that pops back up, take that as well. They're playing Portland tonight, so not really concerned about that defense. And the Rockets have been one of the better teams of late. I don't know if they've won like 10 out of 11. And he's cleared the 3+ in 5 straight. So he's had 4 in several of those as well. So really like this spot for VanVleet.
Yeah, he's been getting at least 9 minutes pretty much every game too.
Yeah.
He bumped up to 11 last time, so might even play almost a full 12 there in the first quarter. So nice opportunity.
Yeah, I mean the Rockets. I mean, as much as I love Sengun, it's kind of wild how good they've been playing without him, and it's mostly not even a knock on him, but they just started playing at such a higher pace. I feel like, and watching some of their
Trade
games,
market.
just
Put them on the trade market.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
They're going to have to find a way for both Green and Sengun to work out and like thrive. That'd be really interesting to see because Sengun takes up so much of their half court offense. It kind of
also
takes the ball out
Sengun
of their
takes
hands.
up a lot of the space at the rim, and I don't know if you've seen recently, Jalen Green hates the rim. He has been fucking destroying the rim. If you remember, what a week and a half ago, he had like the best dunk I think I've seen in years. And then a week later, no one's gonna remember it thanks to Jalen Johnson and Anthony Edwards. But that's gonna be brushed past. But that junk, I forget who they're playing against. He just fucking almost jumped out of the stadium. But
I've seen it. I'm trying to remember it too. You're absolutely right because those other dunks completely took these out of my mind.
Yeah, it was, and I think his might have been like right up there, if not like with Jalen Johnson's. But yeah,
who the fuck did he dunk on?
I was watching the game. I still forget who it was.
Can't remember either.
Well, that's all right. You can start on your next play, but I got you on some info. I got to figure this out.
Was it not during? No, we'll skip through it. But yeah, I want to go with my bet. One of the overs I have, and I did put it in the Discord, and I actually tweeted it for the show because it was one that, unlike Nick, when I see things like I do, what do I say? Feel for him when you have a later show sometimes because you could find awesome lines in the morning, and if you don't share them before the show, you might as well just throw them out and not even keep them because they're not gonna be here when you need it. Yeah, Simons. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, gets the rematch today.
I was about to say,
Simons isn't playing though.
Can I bet on Jalen Green over 0.1, over 0.5 posterized dunks? But I did post it earlier, and it's already moved like 2 whole points on FanDuel. You can still get 14.5, but I did get 13.5, so I did get credit for this play because I did give it out before it all moved. But I went Miles McBride over 13.5 points. Got minus 120. This is one of those bets where even if I lose, can you ever really feel super bad about a guy that's playing 48 minutes a night? I mean, you know he's going to see the minutes. I know it's a blowout, 17, 16-point spread, but Thibodeau doesn't really believe in blowouts. He doesn't understand how minute rotation works, and this is a guy that you probably can safeguard for 30 minutes. I feel like even if they win by 40, 30 minutes is probably the low point of what you're expecting from him. And in games he's seen 32 or more minutes, he's averaging 18 points a game. You saw him last game. He's dropped 26. I'm still waiting for that 3-point regression to kind of go for him. And it's just not. He's just hitting his threes at a great clip. And you get the overall, matchup here with the Pistons. They allow 120 points a game. They don't really know how to guard the rim. They don't guard the 3 well. I just think McBride should have a great time with this matchup. I think 13.5 is kind of really soft for a guy that him and Josh Hart both played 24 minutes for the first half, like for the first time ever in like a bajillion years. So he's
It's
just gonna play so
unbelievable.
he's gonna play so many minutes. He's kind of impressed me with how good he's been, and he's been really efficient.
Yeah, I don't know how they find these guys that, not only play all of these minutes, but play with such high energy. And he's one of them. I mean, he's been terrific defensively is probably the main thing that I've been impressed with, especially the Curry game like a week and a half ago. I mean, he just defended Curry pretty much the entire night. And he just, no shortage of energy, still scored 29. So, man, they found a diamond in the rough here. This guy he's the real deal, man. Very, very big fan of his talent. It'll be interesting to see what they do come playoff time. I haven't checked on Julius Randle's status in a long time, but I'd imagine he's due back.
He should be. I think they said a few months. I think he's in the same. I mean, I know Cat's in some kind of miracle timeline that seems impossible, but Julius Randle is more streamlined. And just the last point I'll say is Jalen Duren's out and Cade Cunningham's out, which you would think might make you more scared of this, but it kind of just helps me out because I'm not as much worried about the blowout. I'm just worried about the matchup. And if you don't have Cade to hand check and you don't have Duren at the rim, you don't have Beef Stew for the height. Like, I just don't know who's going to stop anyone on this team from scoring. The only way I think this misses if you get one of the better scorers or more high volume guys on this team that just gets going and scores like 40 or 30 or whatever it is, and there's not enough volume. But I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, Mike David said that it's the Knicks. They don't have play in blowouts. So, yeah, that's a good point. And I'm just reading Julius Randle is not taking contact yet, which is a complete side note, but still kind of crazy. He's been out for so long.
Yeah.
I suppose it circles back to me. FanDuel.
It's technically a triangle, but yes, it works.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know if you can make a circle with 3.
Yeah, shut the hell up. FanDuel listed a disrespectful line on Voos PA. I like that. I played that a lot a couple weeks back. Washington, man, that's all you really have to say. Fastest pace, arguably the worst defense maybe that we've ever seen. Yeah, nice line right there. Which is a beautiful segue into my next prop. So I'm going to go with the prop that makes me look like a little bit of an ass, and then I'll go over the prop that I kind of feel bad because it's moved 2 points due to an injury. But we'll go with Denny Advia first. So I played his points plus rebounds initially. It was 26-5. Jordan Poole was questionable. I kind of figured Poole was going to play. And then I also played him for 25 plus points. You'll get better odds on both of those. I think his PR dropped one stat once Poole was officially in, and then 25 points on FanDuel. The price for it went up a little bit. So for once, it actually kind of feels relieving to give a play that it'll benefit you guys to take it at 5 o'clock rather than 9 a.m. like I usually do. Regardless, they're just packing it in, man. Full tank mode. There's no Kuz. There's no Shemet. There's a guy named Omoyori. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Well, I do know who it is, but he's a big man. He's out. There's no Tyus Jones. Koulibaly's out for the year. So they're just selling it in, man. They don't really give a shit anymore. So they're just giving the keys to these guys to go fuck around for 36 to 38 minutes, and he's in a nice spot. It is a shame because we do have a smaller sample size. The main thing is losing Kuzma. He's such a high usage player on this team. I'm sure Poole will soak up plenty of it, but I think the value lies in Denny. There's 2 game sample size, like I said, and he went nuts both games offensively. Now, one game he did have 3 rebounds, but that's such an outlier. I didn't really get too concerned about that. But he had 24 points in the first game. Then he had his, I believe, career high 43 points in the other game without Kuzma. He took 13 and 24 field goals in those games. He took 5 and 10 threes in those games. He took 4 and 13 free throws in those games. So he's such a huge option for their offense, and I think he's going to be again tonight. He's been kind of cooking all month with Kuzma playing, averaging 17.4 and 9.1 rebounds this month, all with Kuzma in. Last game he was second on the team in usage at 26.4% behind Kyle Kuzma. So now there's a 27.6% usage rate guy that needs to get soaked up by somebody. Like I said, I'm sure Poole will get his, but I think Denny has the value here. So I believe it's 25.5 for PR. So I did 0.75 units on PR, and then I did 0.25 units on 25 plus points. Denny Avia.
He's a sneaky first quarter rebound guy too. So
is that right?
His 5 is plus 1,000 and 4 is plus 370. So without Kuzma, I mean, kind of interesting to look at.
Yeah. Rashawn Holmes doesn't scare me too much
No.
as far as stealing his rebounds.
He was good for Rashad Holmes. I miss him. Wish he was still a Sixer. Those are the days back in the
second round pick for the Sixers.
The end of the process type of vibes where it was just Rashad Holmes out there hustling. Now we have KJ Martin. He's our guy he just hustles. It's like, is he good? He fucking runs fast. Like he puts up some effort. It's awesome to watch.
Can't beat it, dude. Can't beat it.
Yeah. So Denny, I think you kind of described that perfectly too. It's just saying that the Wizards are just kind of, it's like watching a team at like the YMCA just getting the chance to run and play in a good pickup game. They're just kind of out there having fun, put on some baskets, and he gets a lot of opportunities. So
hoping so. Like the spot.
Same.
Nick, do you have any more usable plays?
Yeah, I think I do have one here.
There you go.
So first quarter rebound with Jarrett Allen going against Charlotte. They got embarrassed yesterday. Didn't play very many minutes, so look for a bounce back from him. Vucevic against the Wizards, should be plenty of rebounds available for him as well. And then Nurkic against Wemby if he plays, and the Spurs. He's out. So he's a rebound machine in the first quarter. Doesn't play a ton of minutes, usually second half, but first quarter he's pretty solid. So 3 each plus 184. 4 each plus 684, 5 each plus 3,000, and 6 each plus 18,500. So gonna run that one.
Something light. I like that. Yeah.
Something light, yeah. But the 3-3-3 really, I mean, unless there's foul trouble, they should clear that pretty easy against these matchups. So hopefully hit that and then see where we go from there.
Big fan. Love that.
Just ladder up to 6 each. See what happens. 666.
Yeah.
Buy a new car, one of those kind of things.
Exactly.
I'll be the boring one here that I think I've talked about a few on the show, but Dejounte Murray, I took him under 25.5 points.
Who? Hold on, who?
Wait.
Fan of the show. Pronouncing his name.
Dijon? Is it Dijon? Dijon,
no,
like the mustard?
Dejounte,
obviously.
Yeah. I did take him under 25.5. It's still available on ESPN and some other books. This is one that's scary because if you look at his stats without Bay and Trae Young in, he scored 40, 30, 21, 13, 29, 28. But some of these matchups he's gone off against have been Portland, Utah, Phoenix, and Charlotte. None of those teams are really ones I'm going to try to back it under for and trust their coaching and their defensive ability to actually stop a top option. This Boston team, I know they're banged up at the guard position. Like Drew Holiday's out, Derek White's out, but I don't know if there's a guy on this roster that can fill in for people, and I don't trust to run their game plan, which is just really good at stopping top options. So I almost like his over and assist and his under in points because he is not the kind of person that's super selfish to start chucking up bad shots or trying to find his shot and only his shot. So it really comes out to it's a little scary with his usage, but I think you'd need like 25 shots or a lot of free throws to hit this bet, especially if you're thinking about how bad the shorthanded Hawks team could be against a team like the Celtics that should be able to run away with this one pretty easily. So, I think that there's not much more to say to that. I think if you see this game getting out of hand, he's going to need a big fourth quarter. A lot of times when he goes over, he's a huge fourth quarter. And if he gets limited to like 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes and not play the whole minutes he's seeing, 25.5 is just a little too high for me.
Yeah, understandable. They also, with White and Holiday out, they get to play the 2 greatest players of all time, even more, which is Sam Hauser, of course, and Peyton Pritchard. So this has blowout written all over it, I feel like.
Honestly, my thing too is I've faded Murray in these kind of matches before where there's no one on Boston that's like so holy shit, he's so tall that he's gonna I know Tingus Pingus, but I'm just saying just overall their defense is lengthy and they just guard so well. And I feel like if you look at his game log, he has such more issues with his shot when he's just playing lengthier opponents. So I just think he's not going to be able to find a spot as easy as he is.
Wonderful. You're a braver man than I. I've taken 3 unders this year. 2 were way earlier in the season, hit them both. And, thinking I'm really good at this under thing. And then I sat on it for a while. And then this weekend popped up and I'm staring through these lines like Jalen Green at 27.5. No fucking way he's going over. I played his under and he had 41. So more power to you. I think that's where I'll retire.
I think we all messed up by trying because even I've been trying to get back into the unders just because all these games, no one's scoring. So I'm trying to get like it's just hard for me because usually my NBA season I average about 38% unders in my bets, and I want it to be more like closer to 50 with how bad this product has been in the last few weeks. It's just a lot harder when you look at unders because it's like there's so many other avenues. Someone said, would you play at 24.5? Yeah, I would. Some books still at 25.5. I'm actually surprised he went from 25.5 to 24 with the injuries. I thought the injuries would almost give you a better line. So that's a little interesting that he lost a point when everyone on Boston was listed out. I don't know why that happened.
I have a random question that I don't know if anybody knows the answer, but like Bruno Fernando, backup center for Atlanta, you got to figure he gets like the minutes a lot here, right? Because Capella,
is there lines for him?
There is actually, and he just went crazy last game with 26. Granted, it was Charlotte, but this could be like an interesting spot for Bruno because Capella. I think Brian's famously referred to him as a potato. So a potato covering pores out deep is like it just doesn't add up well for me. Now Fernando, I remember watching him a bit in college. I feel like I haven't really seen him but so much, but I'm wondering like he's 6'9". Is he the mobile kind of guy that can get out on the perimeter and like will he steal these Capella minutes? And is there some value in his
He's not bad. I guess from the little I've seen him, he's not bad.
So yeah, he's a decent third center for sure. But I don't know, that 8.5 line's kind of staring me in the face. I think it's pretty interesting because you may very well get the opportunity because Capella versus Porzingis is going to be bad news if they try that for long periods of time.
Look at Tingus Pingus. He can actually. Have you ever watched him play where he does this thing where he moves his feet and he has good footwork? I don't know if Capella can keep up with that. I mean, he might take a step or two and be left in the dust. I don't know how he's going to be able to keep up.
It'll be interesting. I'm going to keep an eye. I probably won't play that, but Fernando for 12 points is plus 225. Interesting. Maybe a decent sprinkle spot. But nonetheless, also, we can move on.
Shout out for ESPN because I like to sometimes parlay things to help with my limits. And I looked at Murray's under 25.5 is minus 120, 24.5 is minus 105, and then under 26.5 is minus 190. I don't know where they get the juice like that from. I mean,
they just make shit up, dude. They don't know what they're doing.
I don't know why you juice out the 1 point other way, but when you go to 24, they know something. So Nick, it kind of kicks back. Actually, no, kicks back to Ryan, right? How does the circle work?
I don't know. The circle jerk? Is that what you said?
I didn't say work. Circle work, circle jerk. I was trying to think of third rhyme. I can't do it. So you got to go.
Next play. Let me do a little shopping on odds, but we're going to just the most.
I'm glad that I just gave a whole play for the last 3 minutes and you didn't use any of that time to shop the odds, knowing that you were next.
It's every time, every play, every week. I have all the time in the world. I'm sorry. I'm actively listening to your play. I'm sorry. I know you don't.
My notes are written on an old like freaking like Allstate like mail envelope thing, dude. I'm pretty prepared for the show every week.
That's wonderful. Hey, actually, we have a decent line out there. Not bad. Okay, so Brian's never mind. I'm not going to say that. Brian's obsession in this league is DeAndre Ayton. We're going straight to Ayton for some points here.
19.5.
I caught 19.5, and then Simons was ruled out. But unless Pickett has not updated in a little bit, they have him at 20.5 at minus 115, which is glorious. I didn't think we'd get a line under 21.5 for him. So I like that. So it's only moved the point. That's not too bad. Most props end up doing that anyway. So, but nonetheless, Ayton, he finally had a shit game last time. He played the Clippers, very tough defense. Zubac is really good at shutting guys down or at least slowing them down. He had 8 points. But with the stretch he's on, I'm very happy to buy low here. He had just hit this line in 6 straight and 8 out of 9. He's seeing 36 minutes a game, averaging like 18 field goals this month. Usage rate over the last 10 games, 25.4%, which is kind of ridiculous for a center. There's not many centers getting that much of a usage rate. And he gets a pretty interesting matchup here. Now, statistically over the course of the season, the Rockets have had a really good defense. And they've covered centers fairly well, but where it gets interesting, obviously Sengun's out and he will be for quite some time, but also Jabari Smith is out. So like who we got? Jock Landale and
revenge game. Revenge game. Jock versus Ayton. This is crazy.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think. And I did. Of course, I thought about that. I think about everything. So we got the revenge game there too. No, I did not think about that. But it leaves the Jock Landale and Jeff Green to try to cover Ayton. and with the volume he has and the efficiency he has, I just don't know. I'm kind of intrigued. So he's got a little 2-man game all night with Scoot Henderson and himself. So I like this matchup. I was intrigued enough to kind of take my shot here against basically nobody that should be able to cover him. So DeAndre Ayton over 19. Oh, I'm sorry, over 20.5 on FanDuel at -115.
I might pair that 20 plus or something. This is so annoying. I was gonna play it, and then I was like, oh, don't let the demons take over. And then Ryan has to come in here and play it. So
Love it.
Speaking of things, I don't just like that play. I also want to remind everyone to make sure you like and subscribe to GoldBoys and to this show. We put in a lot of work. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I log in at 4:59 to get in for the show every week, and I always have my prep time, obviously, by my my little envelope here. So we put in a lot of work, and we like to have this and hang out. And basically, if you guys don't like and subscribe, we all lose our jobs and we go broke and homeless, and it's probably all your fault. So make sure you like and subscribe to the show.
I mean, Nick and I have children to feed, so
yeah, exactly.
It's really your responsibility to help us feed them. not even gonna lie.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm like, while Nick talks, I'm not gonna be honest. I'm not even gonna listen to Nick because I'm gonna start looking at. I'm gonna start looking at his splits without Simons and some other stuff. This is one Ryan. I might just take it and not post it, because if I post it, then I'm gonna jinx him. So I'll just ride with you in silence, and then I'll blame you. And yeah, you're welcome.
Very thoughtful.
All right, my next play is another first quarter assists with Joker, Luka, and Demantis. Is that right? Demantis?
Yes, Ryan, you missed it last week. We started
Saboner.
We started this Demantis. We started with that. You watch? I feel like you watch Always Sunny, right? Like Mantis Toboggan. Yeah, Mantis Toboggan.
Nice.
So now we have Demantis Sabonis.
Okay,
add him to the club. So two each for those plus 102, 3 each plus 455, 4 each plus 2,600, 5 each plus 20,000. It's crazy. Sabonis and Luka hit that pretty high rate actually, and you never know with Joker if he's in score mode or pass mode, so it just depends on him. Another thing that I'm gonna do, I don't know if it's available once again unless you have Bet 365, but let me pull up the odd here. If you run Luka 5 assists, 5 rebounds first quarter plus 3,300, and then Sabonis 5 assists, 5 rebounds is plus 1,600. Just hit that 2 days ago at like plus 2,200. So
hell yeah,
both of those guys great candidates for that. They do it, I would say, one out of every 6 games, 7 games. So if you catch them on the right night.
I feel like it. I don't know. I feel like it hits every damn day. I look at your page and you're hitting these absolute monster bombs. So I don't know, especially with Saboner and Luka. It feels like they're always
those are
the two that
those
really
are the
go-to,
especially when they play on the same night. And if you want to be stupid and combine them, it's plus 57,000. So if you put $1 on that,
put $1 on that. What is that? That's a lot of money. Someone said, why so many ads? That's likely it's not really our fault, but just to add on to that, I want to make sure I say, while we're talking about ads, make sure to like and subscribe to GoldBoys Network. Ryan Bryan Talk Sports plus Nick Larson. We're here every week at 5 p.m. except when we don't feel like it and we cancel. So it's pretty regular. I would say like 80% of the time we are all here. So
baseball next week too.
Yeah, that's baseball next week. So, and while we're at it, follow us on Twitter. Me and Nick will probably bring back our spaces on Twitter. So just going to keep at it. The rest of the show is actually all ads. So it's going to be most of that. But to add on to the ads, let's have Ryan add his next play. That's a good segue.
Great segue.
Oh man, just wonderful stuff. All right,
if you have to dictate this episode, you have to make sure you get the right ads right, because some of them are ADD, some are AD, and it's going to be like 3 in 1 sentence, so it's going to be really tough to figure out.
Oh, man, that's not confusing at all. I'll just go ahead and prematurely apologize if you took him last game, because I know it hurt, but let's go with my man Malik Monk. Points plus assists. We're doing 21.5 points plus assist. He's coming off an 11-shot 0-point game against the Magic the other day, which is just hysterical to think about. But Magic, I think they have the top
Has that been
rated
happening more than you've
defense.
noticed? Have you noticed that? Because didn't James Harden have a 0 for 10 game within the last 2 weeks?
I
Some
think
people are
so.
really catching the ass. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
I'm not. Well, I'll give Orlando credit. I did not watch that game, so I'll give them credit and just assume they played really good defense because that's what they do. But Philly, who do they have to cover this guy? I'm not really too concerned about who we have to cover him. So, he kind of fits a little bit of a theme with all of my guys. Like Aiton's been on a tear, went under last game, so I'm going to scoop him up. Kind of the same thing with Monk. He's been going crazy recently. So outside of last game, he's been awesome. So even with the 0-point game factored in to this month, he's averaging 19.2 points and 5.3 assists so far. So that's pretty awesome to start. He's also playing at home tonight where he's been historically much better. He averages 16.7 points, 5.8 assists at home rather than on the road. He averages 14.9 and 4.8 assists. And the Sixers, I'm just not really worried about their defense here. I don't really think they have a great fit to try to cover this guy. The bottom half of the league in defensive rating, they're certainly not bad. Over the last 15 games, they're certainly not a bad defense, but I'd say they're average to below average. So with the hit rate that this guy's been having recently on this line, plus being at home, I like it a lot. His role is always kind of like an odd roller coaster. I don't know if he slept with Mike Brown's wife or whatever. But his role always kind of goes all over the place, but it's slowly started to steady. I'm sure some of it's due to good play. I'm sure some of it's due to the fact that Herter's out, but he's got 26 plus minutes in 15 out of 20 games. So, we have a decent hit rate as far as those minutes are concerned. With the Kings sitting in the 7th seed, they're looking to avoid the play-in. So this is a big game for them, which I think will be very important to kind of use in your capping for the next couple weeks as we round out the rest of the season. So, try to keep your track of standings and look at whose games matter to them. So they're in the 7th seed, so they really want to win this game very badly. They're at home. Philly, I think, has actually been playing pretty well recently as far as keeping games competitive. So it could be a blow up. I don't really have massive concerns. I know it's like a 9-point spread, but I think Philly can keep it close enough.
It's actually an 8-point spread, you fucking idiot. Shane joined the show. There's injury news.
That's on me. And if he gets that 26-minute mark, he's hit this line in 70% of games. So that's kind of what I'm gunning for. I'm hoping that he gets 26 plus minutes. And with the matchup he has here, I think he has a really good shot at hitting this line if that is the case.
To add on to Ryan for one more second, Kelly Oubre, I don't think he's going to play. Or if he is, I shouldn't say I don't think he's going to play, but he fell so hard on his tailbone yesterday and he's questionable. I think a lot of times you fall on your back like that, you finish the game, and then you wake up the next morning and you're like, holy hell, did you see how hard I fell? And it starts filling up. So if he doesn't play, it goes on to your cap just saying who's going to guard this guy. And Kelly Oubre is the one guy I would think, wow, he's just so high energy. He can really close out and make sure he gets there and gets back to the rim. I don't know if you saw that block on Paul George yesterday where Paul George was jogging to the basket for a layup and was pissed off that someone caught up to him. And I was like, dude, you can't be doing that against a guy like Kelly O. But if he doesn't play, it goes to your point even more that it should be a really good matchup for him.
Yep. Big fan. Brian.
Nick, I have one. So you're done. I am done as well, but I do have one thing I want to point out. Ryan, I'm glad you said everything because I know you're also a Sixers fan. I was so looking at a way to play either 25.5 or 26.5 for Tyrese Maxey.
Looked at it all day.
I just think my thing is I don't think Oubre's going to play. That's my thing. I think if he doesn't play, I don't think it's going to move the line too much, but I think it might go to 27.5 if he doesn't play. But Oubre being out is way more impactful for me than Harris being out. And he was getting 28.5 without Harris. So if Oubre is out, I don't know. He's playing against, Kentucky just lost, gets to play against Fox. I don't know. Like, does that factor in? But it's just be such a high-paced game. I know it's a back-to-back, but he's coming off a game where he didn't play too bad. I know Nick Nurse mentioned that he wants this guy to take 25 shots a game. He didn't take that many last game, so maybe there's some motivation there. But he really should be a guy that can score 30 points in a game like today.
Yeah, I've been looking at it all day. I'm kind of getting really damn close to adding it myself. The thing that I want to throw out, so let's say Oubre doesn't play. This shoots up to 27.5, 28.5. If Oubre does play, is it going to go any lower than 25.5? So I don't know. It feels like
I feel like if he gets ruled out, I might just see how it goes. Honestly, I hope he plays, because I would take 25.5 in a heartbeat. If he plays and I don't think he's fully healthy, I'll take 25.5 juiced if I can get it, because that'd be an easy look for me. But yeah, this is one that I've been wanting to play all day, and I just haven't been able to fire it yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, like this. The Sixers unfortunately do play at a bit of a snail's pace, especially when Lowry plays. But the Kings play so fast, they should speed him up. He should get some extra possessions this game. He should be firing like crazy. So I've been thinking about this play heavily myself.
Yeah,
I will, however,
props to cash thing. Last 5 games without Kelly Oubre, 28, 31, 33, 33, and then he only missed one of them, which was against the Kings. But that doesn't really factor into this at all. Information only matters if it helps you. Like
that's right.
He's 4 for 5 in his last 5 games without Kelly
Does fit our narrative? Doesn't matter.
Don't matter that it's the one matchup he went under is the one he's facing. We don't have to talk about that one.
No, completely irrelevant. Why would you even bring it up?
I don't know. Well, figured I couldn't lie to the public anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, I got one more play to spit out, and then we have a little parlay to build. I think what we were talking about a little bit earlier, but we've hit 2 of the first 3, right? And then just nothing much going on
so
ever
you're
since
saying
then.
Just make 3 legs, all triple doubles?
I'm not mad at that at all, actually. Nonetheless, let me get this play out. You guys can start peeking at some parlay pieces. This is a simple props.cash filter play here for me. Keldon Johnson, I'm actually going to ladder him. So I'm going to skip his baseline. I'm going to jump straight to 20 points, take that for a half unit. I'm also going to take 25 points for 0.25 units, so 0.75 units risk total here. Just without Wemby, Keldon tends to absorb up a lot of the uses that Wemby leaves behind. In games without Wemby this year, he's averaging 22.4 points, 14.8 field goals, 6.6 threes, 4.9 free throws. So volume is there. It's looking really good for him to get a lot of shots tonight. Usage rates over the last 5, I'll be honest, I got lazy after 5 and just stopped. So I only have a 5-game sample size. This seems good enough for me. 24.1%. 26.5%, 27.7%, 26.0%, 28.2%. So we're hovering in the 24 to 28% usage rate. He tends to get 30 minutes in these games. He's also, just like Monk, he's a much stronger scorer at home. He averages 17.1 at home versus 14.7 on the road with better efficiency. So like this spot, Phoenix's defense is really shitty. There's a beautiful, my gosh, a beautiful missed sight of 234 in this game. I miss overs in the 230s so bad, so I had to get a piece of the action here. I guess my one concern would be, I mean, obviously you could shoot like shit, but that could happen with any play. But my one concern is like, the season's almost done here. Do the Spurs just kind of sail off and just give all of these minutes to younger guys? It's possible, but there hasn't really been any inkling of that yet. I mean, Vasil's out there. I mean, I guess he is kind of a young guy, but nonetheless, he's out there playing like 38 minutes every night, unless it's a blowout. So Wemby's getting 30, 32 minutes. So I don't really think, unless that decision was made last night to start giving all this time to the younger guys, Keldon should be locked into 28 to 32 minutes here. And if he gets that, I feel pretty good about these odds that we got for 20 and 25 points.
Yeah. I mean, I think you kind of just hit every nail on the like right there where you need to hit them. So I
that's what it's all about.
Was gonna go look into FanDuel for our parlay, and I spaced out. So
nice.
I think we can do that now. I mean, do you guys have anything?
I think it's the move.
I think we just what is like your one thing that you need to have in this? I'll go to Nick first.
3 guys to have a triple double.
Oh, you went for that. Okay. I was kind of half kidding.
I mean, DeAndre 8 and 20.
Yeah, I mean,
I like
that's already in there.
Points and rebounds too.
What's that, Nick?
Okay.
You had Vucevic PR, right?
I did not. Somebody mentioned.
We talked about it.
In
we
the
can add
chat.
it.
They had PA.
I like his points and rebounds.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see
definitely.
Here.
We could do like a 15. Let's see if 15 and 10 does anything for us. Probably not, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna look at the alt for just PR.
Yeah, it's minus 201 for 15 and 10. You can miss me with that.
Let me see what's the alt PRA, because that we get all aspects of it. Alt PRA 33.5. What do you think of 33.5 minus 170?
Sounds good to me. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
The only downside to that is it doesn't allow us to play any more props from this game, but
Right.
not
Oh,
that
wait.
not that big of a deal. That's a nice starting spot. Minus 174, 33.5 PRA for Vucevic. Let's see here. We could get I like the Miles McBride play. It feels so.
I just hate the
I
fact
don't
that
wanna
it's like
say
15.5 on FanDuel. Like they kind of juice it up. Can we get the alt? Like
13.5 minus 191.
I'll do
14.
that. That's what I got. Like I got it like obviously at minus 120. But if in a parlay, I just think, like you said, you don't want to say the word safe because we always get screwed over on that. But he's just
Boy,
playing
do we ever.
fucking. He's just playing so many fucking minutes, dude.
If the man, yeah, go score 14 points in 48 minutes, McBride. All right, I like that. We got 13.5 there. This first game, the Charlotte Cavs game, I do really like Jared Allen, a little bit of everything, so I wouldn't mind like an alt PRA look there as well.
I like him as well.
Do we have is that a line you think we could take straight up? Like, would you feel comfortable like getting a minus 110 to have for one of these to like?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that at all. Let me see.
Probably like
PR?
Allen.
What's his PR?
PRA
29.
is 32. PR is indeed 29. It appears that Mobley is in, but 20 minutes. You know, he was putting up stats with Mobley, playing too. So I'm not really too concerned about that. I'd be cool doing the 29 at minus 111. That'll boost us up, get some of our work.
They don't have any alts for him either. That's so annoying.
Oh, really?
Oh, wait. Yeah, they only have alt rebounds.
PRA.
Oh, they did PRA. Okay, I couldn't find it first. All right. So, wait. What would happen if we get. I was going to say 28. No, just. Let's see.
What are you thinking?
We could do 30.5 for PRA. Is that. What's his actual PRA? 31?
32.5.
So I was going to say this. If we do 30.5 for PRA and we add Maxi 25 plus, we get to 975.
I mean, damn. And I don't mind cutting out a leg here either.
That'd be 5 legs if you want to do that. Maxi, Allen, McBride, Vooch, and Ayton comes out to 999.
Hold on, who am I missing? Vooch, McBride, Allen, Maxi.
That's perfect.
Ayton 20 plus, Vooch
Oh,
over 33.5, McBride over 13.5, Maxi 25 plus, Allen 30.5 PRA.
Say less.
I just feel like
I like
yeah,
this.
I mean, as long as it's close to 10-1, I don't really care. And I just think Maxi 25 plus, it would make me feel good if that's like the last leg too. So that way I can just go to bed knowing it's gonna fail miserably. So
or we'd have a plus money hedge.
yeah, I guess if you think that way. Fucking pessimist over here. Like I'm trying to hedge. I'm just going to bed. I'm gonna lock this in. I think that's pretty easy. I'm just gonna read it off to anybody that missed it. So the parlay from this show is DeAndre Ayton of the Portland Trailblazers scored 20 plus points. Nikola Vucevic over 33.5 PRA. That's points, assists, and rebounds, or par if you're a golfer. Miles McBride over 13.5 points. He plays for the Knicks. And then Tyrese Maxey, the Sixers legend, 25 plus points, which is the late game against the Kings. And then Jared Allen over 30.5 points / rebound / assist, or PAR, par if you're a golfer. He plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers in the early game. That comes out to, it is now plus 1,002. Says
really
officially 10-1. I'm going to lock it in before it keeps going back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
So
it jumped up to 10. Nice. All right. We got 10.02. Beautiful.
10.02. Our magic number. Actually, Ryan has always said that 10.02 is his favorite number. It's very strange to like.
It is an odd number, but
I'm glad people are like, what's your favorite
number?
It's
my favorite time of the day.
Yeah. 10.02, really? That's a weird time of the day.
Obviously.
It's only fate that this hits then.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, 10.02, when people are like, well, what's your favorite number? Usually people are like 8 because I was born on the 8th. Ryan's like 10.02. Like just 1,002. That's always been my number. So we lock that in. As always, I'll put it in the Discord. In my channel, I'll tag these two in the chat, and then I'll also make sure they're notified as well. We like to have some fun with these. We usually get heartbroken on the last leg. So at least now it's a Sixer, so I get double heartbroken, and I can just get really mad when we get to that
Looking
point.
forward to it.
Do you guys want to wrap up the show? We kind of finished 10 minutes early, but we can kind of recap and get the hell out of here, get some sleep. I know it's almost 6 o'clock. Some people have some crazy mornings you can go for, so I'm just going to go with my plays. I really like Tyrese Maxey over 26.5 points. It did not play it yet. I'm going to see how the injury report comes out, but my two straights I have today are Dejounte, or better known as Dejounte Murray on this show, under 25.5, minus 120 on ESPN and Fanatics, and I have Miles McBride over 13.5 points, minus 120 on Fanatics.
Beautiful.
I have Fred VanVleet over 2.5 assists. This is on DraftKings, plus 110, 4+, plus 215. For all these, check Bet365 if you have it. I do not. You can run rebounds with Jarrett Allen, Vucevic, and Nurkic. You can run that 3 through 6.
Nurkic, I hardly know her. Sorry, I don't know why I did that.
For
We were
assist,
so close to a clean out.
So close. For assist, Joker, Luka, and Sabonis, 2+, 3+, 4+, 5+. You can run Luka 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and then Sabonis 5 and 5 as well solo. I think that is it for me.
Sounds like a plan. All right. I went with I don't remember how to say his first name. I'm going to say Vasilije, but who the hell knows if that's correct? So Vasilije Micić over 17.5 points plus assist. And then went to Denny Advia over, it's now 25.5 points plus rebounds. And then I sprinkled on 25 plus points as well. DeAndre Ayton, his line did get bumped up 1 point, but I'm still perfectly willing to take the 20.5 point line for DeAndre Ayton. Then I went to Malik Monk. He is over 21.5 points plus assists. And then to round us out, I did a ladder on Keldon Johnson's points. I played him for 20 points and for 25 points. And I believe that'll wrap us up. This is our last show. That is all NBA. Next week, we have some baseball props to share, I would assume, in addition to NBA props. So it should be a lot of fun. But we do appreciate you guys tuning in. We do appreciate Sleeper Picks for sponsoring. And we will see you next week.